we approach the long holiday weekend, there is more counterfeit money circulating in West Michigan.
13 on your side's Kylie Ambu spoke with a local Secret Service agent on how to spot the con. Kylie.
Yeah, you guys, when people think of the Secret Service, many envision a group of trained bodyguards, but agents say the organization was originally founded to combat counterfeit currency. Now, decades later, the fight is still on, but 13 is on your side tonight with tips on identifying what's real and what's fake.
So this bill is counterfeit.
There's more fake money circulating in West Michigan.
We have seen a number of counterfeit that's been passed locally.
And con artists are getting smarter.
The other surge that we've also seen are notes that are considered bleached notes. So that's genuine paper that's been bleached chemically and has been reprinted with the face of typically a $100 bill on it.
Hitting everywhere from businesses to online swap groups.
Purchase an item that's small in value, and they're trying to maximize the amount of genuine money that they can get in return.
$20 and $100 bills are the most popular cons and are commonly used in fast food and retail business, as well as during holidays like the upcoming 4th of July.
You have a lot of people standing in line, so there's the element of trying to move the transaction along a little faster. So sometimes there's a reluctance to look at all the security features.
But while millions of fake dollars are passed in the U.S. each year, Secret Service agent Stephen McMahon says that there are ways to spot the decoy dollars.
There's two places that have color shifting ink, the 100 and then the bell and the inkwell.
A tilt of hand will validate a bill.
A counterfeiter attempted to simulate the color shifting ink by using a glitter pen to color in the color shifting ink. However, you're going to see that it does not shift from the green to a gold. It stays gold.
And real dollars 5 and up will have a watermark with its corresponding figure in the right-hand corner.
And in this bill, they utilized a $10 bill and bleached a 10 and reprinted the 100. So you'll see that the watermark, when you hold it up to the light, has an image of Alexander Hamilton staring back at Benjamin Franklin. That's not right. You're going to see the United States of America that's written on Benjamin Franklin's collar.
But don't forget to look at the obvious clues like blatant writing on prop money.
That it has for motion picture use only written on the bill itself.
And no matter how you discover the counterfeit, it's important to call the police.
If we can capture a license plate, for instance, or a good suspect description, those are things that will help not only the local police but also the Secret Service in tracking this counterfeit money.
And the thing about counterfeit money is that it circulates throughout the community once it leaves the owner's hand. So even if you unintentionally find yourself with fake money, Agent McMahon says you should still contact local police because it can still help them catch the culprit. Nick and Juliet.
Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey. You're watching The Morning Show at 9 on WCIA 3.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Monday, which means we have another Wise Guys segment. And joining me is Professor of Physics Paul Kwiatz. Thanks so much for being here. We're continuing our story. Yeah,
Part two about money and how you keep it protected so that other people can't copy it. So I thought we'd do just a quick overview of the things that we talked about before. So first thing, you just try and make something that's hard to draw. So if we go to our first image, you know, we can have very fine resolution on some of these things. So if you look at the $20 bill, like right near the 0 on the bottom, there's this in very fine print where it says United States government, something like that. So that would be hard to copy. And then the next thing that we looked at, next slide, is that there's actually this little constellation of 5 circles and repeated patterns on many bills. And if a typical modern printer sees that, or an image processing software sees that, it just won't print it, or it just won't work with it. So that protects you from just using a photocopier. Okay, next one is that if you hold these up to the light, they often have a watermark that you can see through, and that makes it quite a bit easier to, there's a image that you can see if you actually look through it. And for example, the $5 bill we see on the right-hand side, there's a lovely 5. And anyway, so lots of currencies use that. Another thing that we can do is use ultraviolet. And in fact, if we just come back to us for a second, we can just look at that in real time maybe if we come up here. So I just have a $20 bill and I'm putting some ultraviolet on the back of it, and there's this green stripe that shows up. And depending on the currency, we may or may not I think we can maybe see the green stripe. Yeah, and depending on the currency, it'll have a different color stripe. The ones don't actually have a UV stripe, but 5s, 10s, and 20s and other ones actually do. Another thing, if we just look at this dollar bill, it feels pretty smooth on the paper here, but if you go over the shoulder, it feels very rough and ragged, and that's going to be true. That's going to be true no matter which one we have. The shoulders have this raised printing. It's called intaglio, and so that makes it easier, harder for someone to be able to counterfeit that. Another thing that's interesting is that the ink itself can be magnetic. And so I have here just a pretty strong magnet, and we can see that it's going to attract the paper. So not all inks are magnetic, but in the US dollar bills, I guess the black ones tend to be magnetic. Some other currencies also have this. So this is Korean money, and again, the ink is magnetic. If you put this on a part where there's no ink, it's not magnetic, so it really is the ink, it's not the paper itself that's magnetic. Okay, if we go back to the slides. We can go through. Okay, so those are the different UV inks. If we go to the next one, this is just showing the shoulders of each of the bills that we have where they have this raised ink. You can just take out your dollar bills and feel that. Okay, if we go to the next one, now some currencies are also using holograms on them. So these are little images that will interact with light in a particular way, and depending on what angle you look at it, you'll see a different image. So this is looking at the Korean won, and there's 3 different images that are hidden in this one sort of thing. We talk at some other time about how you might actually implement that, but it's pretty interesting. Other dollar bills, other currencies also are now starting to incorporate plastic. So if we go to the next slide, this is a Swiss franc, and there's this region here that is transparent. And if we just come back to us again, I have this bill, this 50 franc Swiss note, and it's got this little check mark here, and you can see that it is transparent. So depending on what color is behind it, it is just transmitting the light, or if it's dark behind it, it's transmitting. The other thing is people are now using also these so-called color shifting inks. So I'm going to go back to my 20 here, and if I look at the 20 here, depending on the angle that you look at it, you may or may not be able to see this. It'll go from kind of a greenish color to kind of a coppery color. And again, this would probably be easier if you just take out money and you just look at it rather than trying to see it here. Okay, we could also talk about one other thing, which is the paper itself. So we've talked about the inks, we've talked about patterns with the inks, but the paper itself, actually, we can detect whether or not that's legitimate paper. And the way that we can do that is with one of these pens. So you can buy these pens for a couple bucks or something like that. These pens have iodine in them, and the iodine interacts with starch. And what that will do then, so here I have just a normal white piece of paper. If I put this on a normal piece of paper, because it has starch in it, it will turn the piece of paper black. Yeah, so I'll just draw another one, draw another circle on here, bump, bump, okay, there. So it turns it black. But if I do this on a dollar bill, the dollar bill is made, does not have starch in it, hopefully. Okay, good. Legitimate dollar bill, legitimate 20. So that's one way to test whether the paper is a legitimate paper that the money is printed on. And we can, just kind of a fun demo. So another thing that has starch is potato chips. And so we can now have a new art form where I've managed to draw a face on this potato chip using my iodine pen. Okay, so lots of different techniques are used to try and keep our money protected and make it difficult to try and do counterfeiting. And just to remind you, it doesn't have to be impossible. It just has to be more expensive to make the counterfeit bill than the actual bill is worth. So if it costs you more than $20 to make a counterfeit of this, you're just not going to do it. You'd be better off just sticking with the original one. So not that you should be trying to
don't do it at home.
But it's just a lot of interesting science and techniques that are used in all of these.
Very interesting. Well, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, still to come on the morning show, Jacob has a look at your forecast up next. We'll be right back.